Cool. Well, welcome to the podcast. I'm glad that we're finally getting to chat. I've heard your music and seen your name around for a while, so definitely interested to chat. Are you outside right now, or is that just like a green screen background?
No, I'm literally, I'm literally in the woods at the moment, like outside of LA, like about an hour. Cause
wow.
I lived in this apartment that was like kind of like a concrete block, by myself. It was like my first time living by myself. And, it's one of those like downtown LA apartments, and it just felt kind of like a prison cell. And I was just like, as soon as I got in there, I was like, why the fuck did I do this? And I was like, I gotta get out of here. And so I just, eventually got this couple to move in and take over the lease. And I'm just like living in my car right now, which by choice, I'm like, I've always wanted to do this. I did it during COVID for like a month because I was like losing my mind and whatnot. But so I have a Prius, so all my seats go down in the back so I can like just sleep in the back. So basically I'm just like camping in the woods and then during the weekend playing shows and like going to LAX and whatnot. So, I'm pretty much just chilling right now. It's like pretty sick.
Damn. And how, are you producing music out there and stuff?
Yeah, I have like I have this like converter that converts my charging port into like a 3-pronged, so I can just plug my laptop in and just use headphones, which is what I've been doing anyway, because I've just been on the road and I've been like learning to not really need a studio, I guess. And like learning to mix in the headphones a lot better. Like Skeller does that. Skeller doesn't live anywhere and he just mixes in his headphones, and he's just been doing that for years. And he's like, yeah, it works fine.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I feel like if you know your headphones well enough, it's totally possible to do crazy good mixdowns in headphones. I mean, I got a friend, Eli Derp, who uses headphones, and his mixdowns are like some of the best I've ever heard. And AU5 as well. Like, I mean, he has speakers, but he does his mixdowns in headphones, and his mixdowns sound great as well. So, I think it's definitely possible if you know what you're doing.
And I can just do the car test too anytime I want.
That's
like
a good point. Yeah, you're like already in there. Yeah, man, the car test for some reason is like always so brutal. I don't know, like I have a crazy studio and still I do the car test, and whenever I go and listen in the car, I'm like, sub's a little bit too much, or like not enough sub. It's like something about the car, like you can hear shit in there that you just can't hear in the studio for some reason. I don't know why.
My stuff always sounds so much more muddy in the car. And I realize because I just kind of like these like low mid tones that are warm and make things kind of sound more natural. But then I just overdo it, and I hear it in the car, and it's just like, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Why do I suck at mixing? But yeah,
it's tough getting a mix down that sounds good live on a sound system. Also sounds clean and like detailed enough in headphones, and then also sounds like it's got like good energy and sounds clear in the car. It's like hard finding that middle point. I think it's a mixture of not only mix down stuff, but also like your writing as well. Like you said, you preference like these pretty low midi, like warm sort of tones. And I think the writing side of things definitely like plays into the mix down side a lot as well.
Yeah, I tend to like lean away from crispier. Like I feel like your music is really clean, but it's like fun clean. It's like clean in a way where you're like listening to it and you're like, whoa, what the fuck? How, like, it just sounds so full and like right there and present. And there's sometimes where things just sound clean or just like really crispy in a way that's like kind of obnoxious, you know?
Yeah, like bro, some bro step or something.
Yeah, there's some bro stuff where it's just kind of like hard clipped in a way where you're like, okay, you guys, I get it. It's fucking loud. Like, or even some pop music can kind of be like that sometimes, but.
True.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, like, is it like, what is the legality of you just like sort of camping in the woods and just chilling there? Is that legal or is it?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, first off, there's BLM land. So BLM land is just owned by, like the government, or just like, it's just if it's BLM land, you can camp on it for free. And there's this website called freecamping.net where you can look on, and people just put free campsites like all across America. So you can camp like in BLM land anywhere. But where I'm at is at this there's a lot of campgrounds if you get this like nature pass, like an adventure pass, I forget the name of it. But it gets you into like all these campgrounds and all these national parks for well, not for free, but it's like $36 for like the year or something like that. But then also like, you can just, I mean, yeah, I illegally just camp places too. I mean, you know, it's just like, sometimes you'll get the knock by a ranger or somebody that tells you to get the fuck out of there. But for the most part, you know, it's like, I don't know. I like it. I kind of, I don't know. I like being on the road, and I do feel like home is like where I am and where my people and people I love are. So it's just like, I don't know. I grew up in Humboldt too. So it's like very nature. That's where we met, I think, actually, with like Miles with sci-fi and whatnot. I
Yeah,
think you
yeah, possible.
played a show in Humboldt like a long time ago in Arcata.
Yeah, I haven't played there in a long time, but yeah, I think the last time was 2016, and then I think before then I played there in maybe 2014 and 2012 as well. So yeah, I haven't played there in a while,
Yeah.
but I played there a
Yeah.
couple of times.
Yeah.
So
But
do you have like friends around you as well, or are you just kind of out there by yourself? And
I'm
are
out
there
here.
other people around? Like, are there like, you know, other
I'm at a
like
campsite. There's
campers
some
and
people
stuff?
over there. Yeah. But I like backpacking and nature shit. So, I mean, during COVID, there was like a moment there where I was like hands down, the most suicidal, the most like depressed and like terrible. And I just was like, fuck this shit. And I just got in my car, put all my camping shit in there, and just like lived in my car for a month and just drove around California and like camped and backpacked in different areas around California for a month. And it was just like, afterwards, I'm like, oh, I'm not depressed anymore. Like, thank God. Who knows? Who knew that just like getting outside would have just cured this, you know?
Damn, so
So
if you're on the internet fighting with people and they're like, literally go outside and touch grass, you're like, bro, I'm like in grass right now.
yeah. I'm always in that Facebook comment section, you know, just arguing with my uncle.
Are you what are you doing for like your food situation out there? Do you have sort of like camping things where you
Yeah.
just add hot water or whatever, or you have like a
Yeah.
whole cooking setup?
Nah,
Or?
bro. I get what I do is I get the little, you know, the little drug bags. I fill them full of spices. So I have like a little bag full of drug bags of spices, and I just like, I'll be cooking out here. I'll have like a little thing of olive oil or butter and some garlic. I'll like chop it up. I'm just like cooking like a little. It's like a backpacking stove or whatever, you know. And so you cook things that don't take very long, you know, like little veggies, like couscous or something like that. But for the most part, yeah, I've told my friends that I'm doing this, and half of them think that I'm fucking crazy and they like want to help me and they think I'm homeless. And the other half are like, oh my God, that's fucking awesome. You've cracked the system. I've always wanted to do that. So depending on the type of person, they either think I'm an idiot or that I'm doing great. So,
I mean, based on the like 10 minutes we've been talking, I don't feel like you're crazy or anything. It seems like you know what you're doing and you want to be doing it. I'm just curious about like the logistics of it. Like
yeah.
how far are you, for instance, from LAX or from Los Angeles in general?
I'm about an hour. Well, depending on
Okay.
traffic. I drove like at night, so maybe an hour, hour and a half. Yeah.
Okay. And are you traveling like every week for shows basically?
Yeah. Every weekend I have shows.
Okay. So just on the weekends you go down there, park your car there.
Yeah. I have
out
a
of
secret. I have a secret parking spot that I park it at.
True. Yeah, and that kind of seems risky. Like I imagine like you've got all of your shit in your car, right?
I mean, I have all the stuff that's important to me. I take with me, which I need
Okay.
anyway. So it's like I have a camera, I have my laptop, all that stuff. Like I'm going to take that for shows. So I bring a luggage bag, my backpack. All the important stuff is with me. The only stuff that I leave in my car is like, you know, my sleeping pad, some bags of food. You know what I mean? Like a pillow. It's nothing crazy. And I make sure like if anybody looks in my car, they can see that it's a sleeping bag, a pillow, and a bag of food. It's not like, oh, here's a, you know, tasty camera bag and a briefcase for somebody to check in, you know? So.
Yeah, true. And how long
Yeah.
have you been doing this?
Just like a week now. I just started
okay.
it. I just got out of the spot. So I'm pretty fresh. I mean, check in with me in like a couple weeks and see how I feel. Maybe I'll just be like, fuck this. I need a studio, you know?
Yeah, true. And like when you're producing, are you doing it sort of outside or are you sitting in your car and producing?
Yeah. I mean, I have like the doors open. I have like the back door open and I'm just like chilling, you know?
That's kind of sick.
Yeah. Or like
fun.
on the, you know, on a rock like I am right now, you know?
Do you feel like it influences the type of music that you're making?
Yeah, like I'm gonna start making some like Charles the First type beats or something.
Yeah, I
Just
mean, I
like
don't know. I feel
bird
like
sounds
depending
and
on where I am changes the kind of music that I write a lot, but not so much like whether I'm in the forest or in a building, more so which
yeah.
country I'm in. I notice like when I'm in
Oh,
Australia,
really?
I write like
Interesting.
completely different shit to when I live in America.
What
Or I
is
spent
what's
like a bunch of time in Spain at one point and I found I was writing like completely different shit there.
what was the difference between Australia and America you found?
In Australia, I feel like I write more heady stuff, like more glitchy, like weirder type shit, and like
Yeah.
more experimental because there is no like electronic music scene there. And so when I feel detached from the electronic music scene, like I have no obligation to play shows or anything like that. I feel like
Mm.
I write more experimental type stuff. But when I'm in America, I know like, all right, I got a show coming up this weekend, or there's just like constantly shows happening. So I'm like, I've always got to be making stuff for shows. And I feel like I make more like dubstep here, basically.
Yeah. Do you find that that happens naturally? Or do you think about it ahead of time?
No, I don't think about it. It just happens naturally. Like
Yeah.
I never really think about what I'm going to make before I open a DAW. I just
Yeah.
I'm in the studio like from
Me.
the time I wake up until I go to sleep every single day. So I just come down. I don't know what's going to happen. I open up the DAW and I just start fucking around. And yeah, maybe it is a conscious decision I make somewhere along that process, but it's not something I really notice.
Yeah. I try not to think whenever I'm making a song, like at all. Like the less I'm thinking, the better.
Yeah, my ethos with it has always been just make music and then figure out what to do with the music later. Like it's the
Yeah.
job of sort of like your manager and you and your team and like your agent and all of the people, helping with your project to figure out how to package that music that you're making and how to
Yeah.
sell it in the right ways and how to like put it on like on in festivals and shows in the correct ways in like context that makes sense and shit like that. Like it shouldn't go the other way where like the context you want to be in first and then you make music specifically for that context. I mean, it can go that way and I guess it does like probably half the time for me, but for the most part I think the healthiest way to be an artist is to just make whatever and then figure out how to package it up and sell it later.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I even find that in the creative process too, like to kind of like, I find that if you are thinking too much while like making a song, that it really fucks me up, you know? Like, oh, we should add this person did this. Like it even happens kind of subconsciously where you're like, oh, this other person did this where the song is really popping. Like, I'm going to do something like that. And then you try it and then it doesn't work. And you're like, why didn't it work? And like, and there's all these, it's like, or whatever the struggle is. You can kind of like very easily get like lost down like a loophole of like either comparison or jealousy or you're just like fucking yourself up. And that, like, if you kind of like eliminate that, make the thing, and then kind of like look at it afterwards, even like the day after, then you can maybe have some of those thoughts, like, oh, maybe I want to add up, make it more breaksy here as opposed to like a halftime tune or something.
Yeah, I feel like if you look at other people's stuff and then try and sort of make a thing like that just for the pure reason that their thing was popular, you end up just making like a cheap representation
Yeah.
of the thing that they did, and then
Uh,
it like oozes cheap representation
yes.
of the thing, and I don't think anyone really connects with those sort of cheaply done versions of other things. Like for instance, a good example is like Hamdi, right? He
Yeah.
just like blew up off a couple of tunes that. Well, I mean, I don't know his career. He's probably been doing this shit for ages, but like, but recently, like a few of his tunes have blown up, and I've noticed that so many people now have like jumped on the Hamdi style bandwagon, and I imagine that a lot of. I mean, I'm just making an assumption here that probably a lot of those people have been making that based on the fact that his stuff got popular. It's probably this exact thing that we're talking about, right? Where they're like,
Yes.
"Oh, this thing got huge, and so I'm going to make a thing like that." But none of them are as good as the two or three Hamdi tunes that have come out and blown up. Like they feel a little bit like I'm just going to go listen to Hamdi. Like I'm not going to listen to
Yeah.
these other versions of the tune that have come out.
Yeah. I find, because I've done this thing called the beat roast on Twitch, where people will send in songs and we'll just kind of like talk shit on the songs, or usually it's just we're telling them exactly what we think of the songs. We don't even have to try to talk shit on them, but people will send their songs in, and we'll it's like a feedback stream, but more negative. And like a lot of it is just like, okay, somebody is influenced by Truth, and so then they go like make a Truth song that sounds just like Truth, and you're like, and I'm always just like, dude, just like maybe mix Truth with like one other influence that you have, and try to just mash something. Like give us anything other than just like a fucking copycat of what somebody else did a really good job at, you know? Like,
yeah,
like
I feel
Truth
like
and like Bob Dylan or something, you know? Do like a Bob Dylan Truth remix, or like fucking, you know.
you'd be a great AI prompt generator. I feel like that's kind of what people are doing with AIs now. They're like, give me a Truth song mixed with Bob Dylan lyrics.
Yeah. Have you done that before? The AI thing?
Yeah, I love it. I think it's fucking amazing. I understand people's concern with it, and how like it's possible that AI could destroy everything and ruin everyone's life and cause a ton of human suffering, and there could be a ton of growing. Like, I understand all those arguments and shit, but at the moment, where it is right now is, in my opinion, pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about
the
you?
BBL
Have you
Jersey
messed with
tune
AI?
slaps. I haven't messed around with it enough. I mean, I've done it to separate out stems, like getting acapellas from songs, and that's been fucking awesome.
I don't know if that's AI. Is it?
Yeah,
What did you use?
Moises.ai. It's a website, and you can put it in, and it'll it'll give you 4 stems: the drums, bass, vocals, and whatever other stuff.
Okay.
It's fucking sick. It does it way better than, yeah.
I see.
You see it?
Yeah, a lot of things that say that they're AI at this point are really like not. Well, I don't know. It's hard to say what even is AI at this point, because it's like so many companies come out and they're like, we have this new AI algorithm that's doing X, Y, Z thing.
Oh.
But like I don't know like what they mean by that. Like, do they just mean that they're using machine learning or some neural network of some kind, or is it just a buzzword that some people are using just to make
sell.
other people go like, oh yeah, AI is sick.
Yeah, that makes sense now. Yeah.
I got a like ontological question for you that I've been asking people on this podcast lately. What is music to you? Like, what is the minimum viable amount of shit that can be considered music to you, to where you can remove one element from it and it's no longer music?
Wait, so we can remove one. I mean, I think that, there's John Cage's song. You know what I'm talking about?
433?
Yeah.
Where it's just silence?
Yeah.
And that's music to you?
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, yeah, I'm pretty down with experimental shit. So I went on like a John Cage, Mike Patton, like, Sun Ra. I mean, I still love Sun Ra. Their orchestra, Sun Ra's orchestra still tours, but I mean, that's pretty like out there jazz, where people are like, this isn't even music. It's just a bunch of people blowing into their horns and like smashing on their instruments.
So to you, no music can be music?
Yeah, for sure.
What is it about that's music to you?
Like the piece of it. There's a lot of times I don't listen to anything, you know? I think that it's like, there's so much noise. I find, I'll be hanging out with people and just like nothing's going on, you know, no music. And they're like, well, can you put on some fucking music? Like, Jesus Christ. But
and you're like, I'm already hearing music.
I hear music everywhere. I'll go on long drives in it and there'll be no music, but it just feels, it feels peaceful, you know. There can just be
down tempo.
Yeah, so down, super fucking down. I mean, there can be like music in like I've seen, like the laundry machine, you know, or like the hum of like an AC unit. Like a lot of times you'll like hear a hum of an AC unit and you'll harmonize with it. You know, and you're just like, or like you hit the same exact tone as something that's been like resonating for a long time. That's like some power drill. Even the birds out right now.
Well, birdsong is literally music. If you like, I think I had a friend who recorded a bunch of birds, and when he like slowed them down, they actually make like pretty coherent melodies.
Damn.
He also did this thing. This was my friend Ankle Pants. He would record a bird, and
Yeah.
then he would like play the sound of the bird back to the bird, and then the bird would like make a different melody, and then he would record that one and then play that one to the bird, and then the bird would make a different melody, and it was like they were having a conversation. But if he didn't like record the next thing that bird said, like if he just took the first melody or whatever that bird made and played that one back to it, and then it did the different melody, and then he played the same one back to it from the first time, it would just keep doing, it would get stuck on that second melody until he recorded that second one and played that to it.
What?
And then it would like start doing the next one, which is kind of crazy. It's kind of like, yeah, the bird would just constantly be being like, come on, like give me the next one, and then he'd record the next one, and then it would like they would go through this like sequence of melodies.
But so the bird is like essentially you're responding with the bird with the same melody as because you're sending it back. I wonder what the bird is like trying to say to the person or say to themselves, I guess. I think mostly they're trying to fuck, right?
Like, pretty much, or find food, or know if an area is safe, probably.
Yeah, the crows do that, isn't it? The crows are way complicated with all that shit.
They're smart. I mean, like I watched a video on YouTube recently where there was like a crow solving a puzzle, and they were able to like know to take a rock and put a rock in water to raise the water level of something so that they could reach this stick, and then they would get the stick, and then they were able to use the stick as a tool to like put it in a hole and dig a thing out. And like, yeah, they're pretty smart.
Crows are sick. Yeah, they like give gifts and stuff back and forth. Where do you live right now? Are you living in the
I'm
States?
in Atlanta. Yeah, I'm in the States.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in Australia until about 2015, and then I moved here, and yeah, I've been in America since 2015. Firstly, I was in Denver for like 5 years, and then I was in San Francisco for 2, and then now I've been in Atlanta for like 2 or 3 years.
You love Atlanta?
I do, yeah. I like it a lot. I mean, I live like not in Atlanta. I live like an hour north. It's really quiet where I live. It's like very lush and green. Yeah, I like it. One thing that I didn't really realize before moving here is like the benefit of the airport here. It's actually like, in my opinion, the best airport to fly out of for a few reasons. The first reason is that it's like the biggest airport in America, which means you basically don't have to take connecting flights anywhere. It's like, I don't think I've ever taken a connecting flight from or to here. And the other thing is that you're on the Eastern time zone.
So sick.
You can you can leave so late and still get to a show. Like, for instance, if I have a show like in LA or something, I can like leave Atlanta, like leave my house at like 2 or 3 p.m. and still get to the thing for sound check. It's like, if you're in LA, like
bro.
When I was in San Francisco, I had to leave for shows at like fucking 5 a.m. If I had a show on the East Coast, like I would have to leave at like 5, 6 a.m. to get there in time, because you have like the 4 or 5 hour flight, but plus you lose 3 hours. So it's basically the opposite when you go back the other way, which is really nice.
Yeah, I've been on that all this whole time, man. Like doing
it's so
like
brutal, man, leaving at that time.
It's brutal. Or I'll do like 5 a.m. flights multiple days in a row, and I'll just stay up all night. I was staying up all night from each show. Like I would just play the show, end at 2 a.m., go to the after party for like an hour, and then just go straight to the airport onto the next show. And I did that for like one weekend and then another weekend. And then afterwards, I was just sick. Like I was like literally like my nose was runny and I had like a cough. And then after that I slept for like 15 hours and then I just magically wasn't sick anymore. It was just like my body was just like dying. It was like, you are not sleeping Therefore, we're gonna kill. You're gonna just die until you get some fucking sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that shit. Yeah, I've done that a couple of times, and I don't know. I don't go to after parties anymore. I would prefer to go back to the hotel for the 1 hour of sleep before the flight. But also, I feel like after parties are just a place to go and do drugs or try and get laid. I feel like that's the only reason people go to them, and I'm not really interested in either. So I just go to the hotel and take a nap.
I love going to the after parties because to me it's like it's just like I don't know. I guess I like social. I guess I'm realizing I'm a bit more of an extrovert than I think as I get older I'm becoming more extroverted. But
like you get energy from like talking to people and being around people.
Yeah. I don't even really, because I don't really even do that much. Like I don't like doing coke. Like I used to do it when I was in the Bay Area, just in my 20s. Just I don't even know why. And I've like tried to like it because I'm just like I see these people enjoying coke. I'm like, wow, these people are having so much fun. And then I do it, and I'm just like become that like weird guy who doesn't talk, who's just kind of like strange. And I'm just like, why the fuck am I? It just feels inconvenient every time I do it. So I don't even go to the after party. I like drink a little tequila, but it's just mostly like seeing antics. I just get joy out of like people acting crazy and like having fun and being weird and just being like, what are these people doing? You know, there's times where you're just like, why am I here? I need to get the fuck out of here. But, I don't know. I went to an after party in Oklahoma City recently, and they had like the shittiest little sound system, and I played a set there, and it was just like so much fun. I don't know. It's like it's almost like the bottom feeders of the scene or at the after party, or not it's just like the rabble, the scoundrels, you know, the like the real fucking like the diehard motherfuckers who are just like, yeah, we're in this shit, and then they're all there, and they're like, you're just like, whoa, this is intense.
Sort of I would say I'm kind of the opposite. I when I'm around a lot of people, I can be around a lot of people for like an hour or something, and then I need to like go and chill by myself. I get super drained from being around crowds of people, and I get like a lot more like. I think another trait of an introvert is like I get way more out of like a one-on-one talk like we're doing now, where like both people are engaged in it, versus like just saying like, "Hey man, good to see you," to like 50 people.
Yeah,
I get zero from that. If anything, that just drains me.
Yeah, that drains. I think that drains anybody. Though I go back to my hometown to Humboldt County, to Arcata. I just did a show there, and it was like that. It was like seeing everybody, you know, hello, like, you know, you're just like, fuck me, I need to go sit down.
Did you play at the Jam?
I played at the Arcata Theater Lounge.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a cool spot.
Yeah, it was fun. I was like worried because I guess the weed scene there has died down, you know?
Oh, really?
A lot of farmers are hurting right now, or have been fucked
just
over
because of like legalization,
giant companies taking over, smaller farmers getting fucked over. Yeah, there's not really a lot of room for like the boutique-y kind of smaller growers, and that's basically what Humboldt was. And some of them are just like, you know, there's not as much money as it was before, so it's just there's like a lot of people that are kind of hurting there right now.
Yeah, I remember it used to be like the weed capital. Like that was where you went to get solid weed.
Yeah, I mean, it still is that. It's just that, you know, it used to be that like there was like a bajillion amazing small farmers, and now it's kind of like congregate. I mean, it's what happens, you know. We all predicted it to happen. It's happened.
What's the thing that you think that makes that area be so good for growing weed?
So there's a number of things. So all the hippies in San Francisco, after the hippie movement, they wanted to get communes, right? So the closest place to San Francisco that had land was north. So it was Mendocino, Humboldt County, Trinity County kind of area. So they all migrated there, created communes, made farms. What do hippies like to do? Smoke mad weed. So they grew weed. That's happened naturally. Also, what the perfect part about Humboldt for growing weed is actually the fog bank there. So the redwood trees are there, and the redwood trees survive there because of all the fog. The redwood trees soak up the fog into their fern needles, and that's how they get their moisture. And they grow so tall. Why they're the tallest trees in the world is because they grow to get that fog, right? They don't get it from rain. There's all that fog bank that's right there along the Humboldt coast, and where the fog meets the hillside, it goes from super hot sunny hills to immediately fog. That mixture of heat and moisture creates the perfect temperature, perfect climate for growing weed. So it's those two combinations of things happening where it just like naturally spitballed, fast forward from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s, you go from hippies growing weed to hippies making money growing weed to other people wanting to grow weed to make money to it being just a fucking petri dish of the best growers in the world, experimenting, exchanging knowledge. It's a community. It's still got that hippie community vibe to it. So it wasn't like competitive. I mean, obviously it's competitive a bit, but it was like people exchanging knowledge with each other. That's the Humboldt I know. People that, have seen Murder Mountain and other things that get a connotation of it. So it's like people killing each other and whatnot. Obviously that happens everywhere, but it's also like, people really caring about weed and that as like an art form, and that's where it's the best weed in the world, comes from there.
Do you smoke weed?
Not really.
Yeah, me either.
I'll do it occasionally, like, on a long car ride or during a movie, but I don't know. I don't really do well with substances, I'll do a little bit here and there, I'll drink a little bit, but I'm blessed in that I don't have that like need to, have to have substances, I guess, in me. I know other people struggle with that.
Yeah, I struggle with it. I went to rehab like 2 years ago at this point almost. Yeah, I like got crazy addicted to ketamine.
Yeah.
And ended up having to go to rehab. I've done whole podcasts on this at this point, but yeah, I definitely, I envy people like you who are like, yeah, I can take it or leave it. It's like, I cannot take it or leave it. I either have to leave it completely or take all of it.
Yeah, I'll do K sometimes. Like I'll kind of I say it's like a garnish on my night or something, like Parmesan cheese. Like I'll do like the tiniest little bump, and then like that's it. Because otherwise it's just like I don't want to be slogging around. But I've had a number of friends who, like you, just go deep on it, and they like to get to that psychedelic realm of it. But then they end up kind of if you do it a lot of times, you end up getting kind of lost and a bit delusional as well. Mm-hmm. And kind of start having like strange delusions, throughout your just regular life.
Yeah, so, pretty much. With weed, I used to smoke weed when I was younger. And then at some point in my like early 20s, it just started giving me like crazy anxiety. And I've talked to so many people about this, and they're just like, oh, you maybe just need to try a different strain. Like, have you tried sativa? Have you tried indica? Like all this shit. I'm like, yes, I've smoked like all of the weeds. They all make me feel like I'm having a heart attack.
Yeah.
They're just too strong. Like, I mean, if I take like the tiniest hit off a joint or something, like I can feel it, and I can even still then on like the tiniest dose possible still feel like that anxiety seeping in. Yeah. But it's not enough to make me go to the emergency room. But if I have like a lot, I'll definitely feel like I'm having a like physical emergency that requires doctor's attention.
Yeah.
Like one weird anxiety that I kept having in my early 20s when I was smoking it is like every time I would get high, I would think that I dislocated my hip, which is like super weird. Like I could just like, I could feel my leg like not being in the right position, and it would make me go like, fuck, I think my hip's dislocated. And like I'd like be walking around going like, fuck, am I all right? And then I ended up going to a doctor about this. Like I went to a fucking hip specialist in Australia and was like, yo, is my hip okay? And they were like moving my hip in like all these ways, and they're like, yeah, your hip's fine. Like if it wasn't fine, you wouldn't be able to move it in all those directions. And I was like, fuck, all right. And then I just stopped smoking weed, and I stopped thinking that my hip was dislocated.
That's so random. That's like so.
Yeah, I swear to God, you just get like the like, at least in my case, I just get the weirdest paranoias from like, I know paranoia is like a side effect of smoking weed, but like to me, that's like an unexpected paranoia, right? It's like
Yeah.
weed will find the way to like find the most unexpected potential paranoia that you could have and give it to you.
I
Like when
remember
I think paranoia, I think of like, oh, there's cops outside my house, there's the NSA is watching me, that kind of shit. I don't think like my hip is dislocated.
I remember taking an edible once to try to go to sleep because I'm like, oh, I got a flight in the morning. So I took an edible and then I just ended up like staying awake in bed, like crying about my family and like having all these like crazy, like fucking like existential thoughts until like 5 in the morning. And I'm like, why the fuck did I do this? This doesn't help me sleep. Like, so. Yeah, weed for me. Weed is kind of like a toss of a hat or like a flip of a coin of like what's gonna happen. Like I'll sometimes it'll just be like it'll chill me out, or sometimes I'll have basically the experiences that you'll have, which is just like intense paranoia, social anxiety, and like what the fuck am I doing with my life type moments. You know?
Do you find there's any correlation to the type of weed that you're smoking and the paranoia?
I have no idea.
Mm.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I used to sell like lots and lots of weed, um, from, just living in Humboldt. You end up just working in weed and doing whatever. So I got good at like smelling weed and being able to determine what pounds were which and all that type of shit. But I like never smoked any of it. I'm like, yeah, this is fire. This is that gas, bro. You want this? And I'm just like, you know, so yeah, I never, but I know it helps a lot of people, which is nice.
Yeah, I've definitely met people before where they're like, I can't eat food unless I smoke weed. Like people who have like eating disorders, they're like, it helps me
Oh yeah.
eat.
Yeah.
Or other people who say that it does the opposite to them of what it does to me. They're like, the anxiety that you feel on weed is like what I feel all the time, probably, and weed takes it away for me. And like, that's fucking crazy that you would like needing a substance to get away from that level of anxiety to me sounds horrifying.
I know. Yeah. General rule of thumb, I just try to like, not be dependent on anything, even
Do you
like
drink coffee?
vitamins. I will if I'm like gonna work, but if I like, I'll literally drink like a tablespoon. That's my like allotment of coffee. If I drink over a tablespoon, then I have a panic attack.
Oh, damn.
So,
Yeah, okay.
but if I hit it just at the right amount, then I can like work on stuff and just like, and like make these like neurotic coffee beats that are like have way too much going on.
Sure. They're good. I like the beats that have way too much going on. I feel like they're good starting points. And then when you're in a more chill state, you can go and sort of just like remove things until
Nice.
you find like the minimum viable structure or the most efficient structure of all of the shit happening.
How often do you make music?
Pretty much every day, basically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Do
Wow.
you not? Do you not make music
No,
every day?
well, lately I haven't been, just because I've been like traveling a lot and then kind of doing more, like I'm self-managed too. So I'm just doing, which I found honestly really empowering, just because you can kind of just take responsibility for like the stuff that you want to happen, and if it's not happening, it's kind of on you to do it. So I've felt kind of empowered doing that and just, so I've been throwing parties as well in LA.
Oh, cool.
And,
What are the parties called?
um, they've just been called party actually, which is really funny. Or I'll just kind of do themed parties. Like the next one is like I did like a slutty Christmas party. I did a lovely dubstep party. The first one I just called party. I don't really know. I have no idea. The next one is a collab party with this graffiti artist named Bear, and we're calling it Peace, Love, Unity, Regret. So it's kind of like more of like a rave vibe. And that one we're doing a lot. We're getting like we've got like 12 like pole dancers, and we got like 5 dominatrixes that are going to be like strapping people up to this cross and like whipping them and like all this like crazy psychedelic shit. He's been making all these murals, building a stage, and so it's going to be like a real zinger.
Damn, where are you doing these parties at?
In LA. in
Yeah,
LA.
like, is there a venue or?
No, just like various warehouses. Like this is gonna be like honestly, this warehouse is gonna be fucking massive. So we're cutting it in half. And just like, I guess if we like sell more tickets, we can kind of expand it or whatever. But, yeah, we just I like doing underground venues because then you can go past 2, and you can just do whatever you want in there, and kind of like pose it as like a private party. We've never gotten shut down. We've never had like an undercover or anything in there yet. So knock on wood, that doesn't happen. But
And how are people like finding out about these?
I just promote them, just like a
Like
regular
just
show.
Okay.
Yeah, we just don't promote the address. Just people that have bought tickets get the address. And yeah, that's kind of like that's what the scene in LA has been like. A lot of that. It's like a lot of underground sick warehouse parties that people
Yeah,
are
dude,
doing.
the very first show I played in America was in a warehouse in LA, and there was like a shit ton of people there, and the cops came in whilst I was playing, and I thought like, oh, the promoter will, like, I didn't know it was an illegal party. I was just
Yeah.
playing, like, it's my first show in America. I was like, this is I guess just how American shows are. And a cop came in and was like standing next to me on the stage, and I just kept playing because I'm like, the promoter's probably gonna like deal with this. And then the cop just started like yelling at me. He's like, yo, shut it off, shut it off. So I was like, oh shit. So I turned it off, and then he's like, he just thought it was my thing. He was like, this is your part, like you're the problem basically. And so I just started like packing my shit up because I was like, I don't want this cop to like start stealing my laptop or anything like that. And then everyone in the crowd like just sat down and started going like shh, 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 and just like quietened down, and literally the entire venue went like silent and was just like sitting down. And then the cop just kind of got like confused and was like, well, there's nothing to shut down now, I guess. It's like just a, and then the promoter finally came up and started talking to the cop and was like, yeah, no, this is my thing. And he's like, well, you told me before it wasn't. And he was like, well, yeah, I'm telling you now that it is. And then he had a conversation with the cop, and then the cop ended up just being like, all right, well, let's just keep it quiet, I guess, and then we will let you do it as long as it's not like super loud. And then we were able to actually keep going because like I guess he'd just never seen any like a whole crowd before just be like
That's so amazing.
Yeah, just be so good at like being quiet, and like they showed him, I guess, with that it wasn't like out of hand, like it wasn't something that was getting crazy. And yeah, it was a weird experience, but so
it was
yeah,
like hive mind mentality. It was like
yeah,
the whole
exactly. It was
hive
so
like
weird,
came
man.
together.
Like literally the entire venue just went silent and sat on the ground. So yeah, that was my experience with LA Warehouse Party. I think every other time I've played in LA has been at a venue, but that one was pretty, yeah. And also being the first show here ever was kind of weird.
Yeah, I like the freedom of the underground parties. I like people to be able to do whatever they want in there and not, sexually free, whatever, like just experiment, just have fun, like not feel like, oh, there's like a bouncer that's going to tell me to like step, that I'm blocking the walkway, and you just take one step this way, and then all of a sudden it's like magically the walkway's cleared or whatever, like having weird authoritative vibes. So I like a certain level of freedom in my own life, and I just want that in like parties and whatnot.
What are the lineups that you've booked for the past couple that you've done?
Well, the one I have coming up is Jay Kenzo, me back-to-back Hypho, Anna Morgan back-to-back Bastion Goat, X and G, which they're on.
X and G is sick.
X and G is awesome, and they've told everybody they're not doing any more shows, but I've convinced them. They're both good friends of mine. Convinced them to do the show. Lita Lotus, Chrysalis, super sick, and then we have a super secret sexy guest who I can't say, unfortunately, but they're like a big headliner or whatever. But yeah, the last one we had like Turnian Sound and Lord Genmu. Before that, it's like Anisea, Saruda, Hieroglyphics. I like to keep the lineups very eclectic and not like one genre, because I get really bored if it's just like a night of all dubstep or a night of all drum and bass or night of all, whatever the fuck genre
Yeah, I
people
feel
like to
that.
listen to. So I keep it very, very eclectic and different, you know, people from different scenes and whatnot. So it's just like more fun that way.
That's sick. And like, I'm assuming like you have to like a lot. I feel like putting on parties is expensive. Like, how are you financially backing this, or are you just sort of
I'm
like
just
helping
putting all
doing the
my,
talent?
I'm just putting all my own money up.
Oh
So
fuck. Okay.
everything that I have, I'm just putting into it.
Damn.
So
That's risky, dude.
I know. I haven't lost money yet. I've done 3 parties. This could be my 4th one. I haven't lost any money yet. So knock on wood. Everybody, all my homies that have been throwing parties for like years are like, you're going to fucking have that one and you're going to lose big and you're going to, cause I'm all like wide eyed and like ready to like take on. I'm like, yeah, this is fucking awesome. Everybody let's go party, you know? And I'm stoked. So we'll see though, you know?
What have like the ticket sales counts been for the last few?
They've been slowly growing. So the first one we had like 280, and then the second one we had like 350, and then the third one we had like 400. So and
That's a
the
decent
next,
sized party.
yeah, they're decent. They're decent. They're not too big, but not like too small, you know. And so and then the next one, I'm hoping we'll get to like 7. I'm shooting for 7. We're really like pushing for this next one. So
Yeah, dude. I feel like people don't realize how many people 400 looks like. It
yeah,
like I've played shows before where I'm like, whoa, there's so many fucking people here, and like on the stage it looks like a small sea of people. Like it's a like feels packed, and it's like feels like a big ass show. And then I'll like the next day ask the promoter like, hey, what were tickets at? And he'd be like, oh, I don't know, like 250 or something. I'm like, whoa, that felt like 1,000 people.
that's so awesome.
Yeah,
Just keep living like that. You know, you just go to every
yeah.
show. Yeah, I just played 1,000 cap rooms every fucking weekend. It's awesome. My life is sick.
Well, that's them ketamine delusions kicking
Yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Bro, I just played to 10,000 people.
Wow, 10,000 horses and animals is fucking amazing. They're all fractal lines.
Yeah, no,
I've
honestly,
never,
I feel like 400 to 500 people is like, that's a good amount of people. I feel like when you
yeah,
start getting up into like the thousands, it starts to, at least to me, feel a little bit scary. Just so many
yeah,
people. Like,
yeah.
it only takes a couple, a small percentage of the population to be cracked to like have that amount of people become a problem.
Yeah, yeah. I hope. I mean, the next one is definitely going to be a lot more wild. You know, we have like a drag queen host, and we're like doing all these like we're having all these like antics, like a weird little like puppet show pop up out of a trash pile, and like this giant cuddle puddle thing, and like we're just like building all these like crazy things, stripper poles, and like you know, um, so
Yeah, I feel like LA and San Francisco really like the themed parties. Like most
mhm.
other places that I'll play in America, it's just like club, sound system, LED wall,
Yeah,
music.
yeah,
And then like you'll go to San Francisco or LA and it'll be like, oh no, this like whole party is based around rabbits, or like this one
yeah.
is like based
Yeah.
around like candy or something. Or
Yeah. Well, you got to step it up. Like it's so competitive, you know, like you've got to be like, I mean, for me, I mean, we've been doing this for a long ass time. It's like you said, you roll up, there's a loud sound system and LED wall. It's like, yeah, we all got loud sound systems and LED walls now. It's like,
yeah.
what's the next level? You know, we got to have fucking strippers and dominatrixes now. You know what I mean? I mean, for me, that's just more fun. So I just want to, yeah, I want it to just be more fun. So, and people have been
Yeah.
really liking it, you know. They're basically queer parties, you know, or queer leaning parties, you know, because it's like there's not a lot of that in the bass world, or there's queer people that like dubstep, you know, but there's like not as much like a a place for them to go, I guess, or something. I don't know. Like it's
I feel like honestly the crossover between like sex identity stuff and electronic music is quite big. I think it's more than I've seen in other scenes that I've
yeah,
looked at.
yeah, yeah. I'm loving it. I'm loving where
Nice.
where it's going.
Do you think that the reason places like SF and LA have these kind of more themed parties with more shit going on is due to the fact that there's just more shows going on in general, and therefore it becomes more competitive to like gain people's attention to want to come to your one? Or do
I
you think
don't.
it's just got to do with like the specific people there just are into that kind of shit? Or
I think that it's like the culture here. You know what I mean? It's like there's way more like poly couples in LA and San Francisco. You know what I mean? There's like really big gay scenes. There's like, you can even go back to like the hippie shit from the 60s, like permeating into the Bay Area. And in fact, you know, Mac Dre raps about like eating mushrooms and shit, you know? So it's like all this kind of hodgepodge of like weirdness. And there's a certain level of like freedom and chillness and like, you know, let's have some fun. Let's be cool, you know, mixed with, yeah, there's a lot of artists here, you know, I mean, in LA, I'm kind of LA and the Bay Area, I'm saying, you know, just West Coast in general, but there's a lot of artists here, but there is just like a certain, I don't know, I find there's a certain level of like camaraderie. I feel it's less competitive here than other places. It's like, I've seen people from not from the West Coast come to the West Coast and kind of bring this like, oh, I'm gonna run this shit. You just wait and see, you know? And, it doesn't work. Like you need to work with people. You need to fuck with other promoters. You need to not be competitive with it. You need to like be cool with people, you know? And collaborative. And like, it's way more fun, dude. It's like, you know, but I think that just kind of like all those things lend itself to people just being like, let's do something different. Let's do something fun. Plus we've been having like parties here for, I mean, I don't know. There's parties everywhere, but it's just, I feel like it's, you know, easy to kind of get bored of the same old and want something new, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. Where do you fall on like the spectrum of polyamorous and monogamous?
Definitely not monogamous. Like,
why do you say that?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not opposed to monogamy. That's the thing. It's like, you know, like I have a girlfriend right now and we're like super in love with each other. But you know, we're also like open, but like, you know, she's like my main shit. And like, if we were at one point to just be like, let's just like not fuck around with other people, you know, then I would, you know, I'd be open to it, you know? But I think that like, if you have the ability, it's not for everybody, you know, but I think if you have the ability to do it and you have the desire to want to kind of strengthen your jealousy and strengthen your like mental willpower and fortitude and whatnot, it's like really fun way to do that, I guess, you know? So yeah, I'm definitely like for it. I know some people really hate on it. But I think it's just because they kind of like, they can't do it or don't want to do it, you know?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people who have poly relationships and then the relationship ends, you have all these people on team monogamous going like, see, didn't work. And it's like, yeah, but like most mono relationships also end. It's
Yeah, totally. It's like, yeah, they had a 4-year long relationship in a poly thing and then they ended. It's like, yeah, that's regular, bro. Like, yeah. I think, yeah, people, I know that some people do the thing where they have multiple like lovers where they're like in love with multiple people. I haven't done that. That seems like pretty intense, you know? But I respect it. I think it's cool. I think that, yeah, it's just, I find it kind of fun to kind of like level up your like jealousy, to kind of like keep your jealousy in check. That aspect of it, I really find strength in it where I'm just like, oh shit, like, I'm jealous. Okay, why? Okay, let's talk about it. Okay, blah, blah, blah. And then you kind of like work through it. And then something happens maybe similar and you're not jealous. And you're like, holy shit, I just like leveled up. What the fuck? This is crazy. And that kind of just like seeps into everything in your own life. You know, there's like a lot of jealousy in music that people feel. And it's like, I've definitely strengthened that aspect of it through my relationship. So,
yeah, I agree. I was in a poly relationship all throughout COVID. And it ended up being like pretty asymmetrical because COVID happened. Like I started the poly relationship at the start of COVID. My partner had another partner. But then COVID happened, and so like nobody could hang out with anyone. So
Yeah.
I was in basically an asymmetrical poly relationship for like 2 years, and I feel like the same thing happened. Is like I dealt with a bunch of like emotional quirks that I guess most people have by default. You know, like getting jealous over stuff and like not taking, say, your partner's words at face value when they say X, Y, Z,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So yeah, I agree. I think it's a good way to build some mental fortitude, but also, yeah, definitely not for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people don't want it, which I respect, you know, it's like, yeah, it's definitely not for it, but yeah, the strength in it is fucking sick. I find a lot of strength in it. And it's just fun too, you know, it's like
True,
sexual freedom and all that shit, you know. I
for
think, I
sure.
think, I think some people kind of go like, I just like to love so many people. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's that. Sometimes you just want to like have sex, and that's okay too. You know what I mean? Like, like it's like we don't need to sugarcoat it.
Yeah, so long as it's consensual.
Of course.
All right, man. Well, hey, it was good chatting with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get back to work for a bit, and then I got to do some training. I've been seeing a personal trainer lately. It's been sick. I haven't done fucking exercise in like 2 years, so like been getting back into that, which has been really cool.
So you've hired a personal trainer, and now you're like getting in it.
Yep.
That's fucking awesome. Wait, how can I ask how much they cost?
The one that I'm seeing, we just do it on Zoom. Like we did it in person a few times, and he was like, we can do it on Zoom and it'll be cheaper, and it's $50 per thing, and I see him twice a week, so $100 a week, which is like kind of expensive,
It's kind
but
of expensive, but it's not
for the
bad
for
too.
the for the value that I'm like getting from it though, it's worth it to me right now. I
Yeah.
probably won't do it like long term. I'll probably do it for like another month or two, and then see if I can like integrate just working out by myself for a while. And if I can't, then maybe I'll get
Yeah.
this dude to like help me again. But
I
I've been like so sedentary since I got out of rehab and not doing shit. And I was like, I just got to like fucking do something. And I figured this would just be like a good way to keep me accountable to work out
Yeah.
just twice a week. I can't say no because this dude's going to like call me on Zoom or come to my house. And
Yeah.
yeah, I find it's helpful to me right now, but I don't see
That's
myself
awesome.
paying that amount of money to this guy long term.
Hell yeah. Yeah, good on you for taking it by the balls, you know? It's like
Yes, sir.
I'm a bit lazy as well. I probably should do something like that. So,
It definitely, in my opinion, like exercise seems to move the needle on like how good I feel more than anything else.
yeah.
Like I can eat extremely well. I can like meditate. I can read books. I can do like all these other things, go for walks and shit. But for some reason, like training, like hard training seems to make me feel better than all those things.
Oh yeah, you got to get past a certain threshold, and then you like kind of get into this. I've gotten there by myself at the gym, but like not very often because usually I'm just like, fuck this. I've done enough. Like, I'm so lazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, good luck, bro.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Appreciate the conversation. It went by really fast. It's crazy how fast these things go by.
Yeah, for sure.